Hi everybody, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel, Tips for You, where I share lots of helpful tips on beauty, fitness, healthy lifestyle, natural remedies, and so much more. Well, I just got back from the gym and I was speaking to a gentleman there just out of the blue, which was the inspiration for this video. I'll tell you quickly the little story and then we'll get into the video. So I was just sitting on the machine, in between doing sets of lifting, and he was on the machine across from me, and he just struck up a conversation out of the blue. And he told me that he just came back from the doctor and he was really happy to get this wonderful bill of health. He'd taken a stress test and lots of tests and stuff. And he said that they were so impressed with him and his physical condition, and that I guess he did really well on this stress test, and that they gave him a clean bill of health. So I said, well, that's really great. I was like really happy for him. I said, well, congratulations. And he was just like, yeah, well, I wish I could feel better. And I said, well, why not? You just got a clean bill of health. And he said, well, because I was a smoker, 20 years ago, and I probably damaged myself. And, I worry about that all the time. And every year I go to the doctor to find out if anything's wrong. So I said to him, well, did you know that your body has completely turned over all of its cells millions of times since then? You're not even the same body that you were. I said, whatever you did with that smoking years ago is gone. Like, you're rejuvenated. You're past that. That's old history. That is not something that you should be thinking about now and carrying around with you. So he was like, really? And I said, really? And he said, wow, you've just lifted a huge weight off of my shoulders. He's like, I can't even tell you. So it got me thinking. And here this man was. He was in great physical shape. He said he exercises all the time. He eats really healthy. He was super proud of it. Yet, you could see that there was a dim light around him. And I just thought, how sad is this? Because carrying around that negative thinking all of these years is detrimental. And when you understand, like I do, that your thoughts create your reality, your life, and that they are powerful because they are energetic, because you're an energy being. And so with those thoughts, he's continuing to create a situation of, mental ill health. Now, in time, that kind of thinking, unfortunately, starts to impact your health and your immune system. And here's how it works. Constant negative thought patterns of fear and anxiety cause a continuous cascade of elevated levels of stress chemicals in your body, like cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. It's like your body's emergency system gets stuck in its fight or flight position, and over time, this wears down multiple organ systems in your body. The long-term consequences of this show up as aging, wrinkles, gray hair, weight gain, insulin resistance, autoimmune disorders, memory impairment, high blood pressure, heart disease, and even cancer. So it got me thinking about aging and how we have these societal norms that sort of march you down this linear progression called aging, right? It's linear. You are born here, you go through all these years, and then, of course, there's death. And it's defined as like a gradual decline, that you should expect that your body and your health and your vitality should decline as the years go by. And why is that? That is simply not true. If your thoughts create your reality and you don't buy into that, does that mean that you won't age the same way? Can you affect your life, your body, with your thoughts? Well, the answer to that question is yes. You can affect your body with your thoughts because you are an energy being. Your cells are very intelligent, and at all times they know what to do. You have to have a belief in your body's ability to heal itself. Doctors and medicine and all that, they can support that healing, but ultimately the healing comes from you, comes from within. And when you understand how powerful your body is and how smart it is, and how if you have faith in it, then you can remain in a state of wellness most of the time. Okay, because the only thing that's going to bring on illness or problems is you not allowing the wellness that is yours to have. And that's why we have to understand energy flow. And we have to understand how we work. You are literally electricity. You are electrical. And you are connected to the universe this way. Energy is the base building block of all existence itself, and everything that you're experiencing is a manifestation of energy. The universe is an attraction-based universe, so whether you think about something that you don't want or something that you do want, it's included in your life experience. There is no exclusion. Your life is literally a mirror of the dominant thoughts you think. Now, Eastern medicine is very different. They don't focus on the word aging. They're more interested in vitality, chi, prana, life force, maintaining that, doing things to enhance that. We are coming around to understanding Tai Chi and movement and yoga and dealing with your energy body and breath work, meditation, mindfulness. We're all catching on now. This wasn't the way it was years ago. I can tell you me growing up, that was like not even heard of. But thankfully, we have social media and YouTube, and we're exposed now to different cultures and different people. We can learn so much, right? So I was thinking, if we had a different narrative in our country about, I'm going to use the word aging, about being older, a grown-up, I think we would have different results, because everyone buys into it as a mass consciousness about this is the way it's supposed to be. But if you support your energy body and your vitality, and you do that through meditation and breath work, exercise, moving your body, circulation, enjoying your body, being mindful of your body, appreciating yourself, not looking for all the flaws, not the negative self-talk. And now that I pay a lot of attention to positivity and trying to stay away from, negative focus, I hear it very easily in other people. They jump to the negative. They will give you the downside, the fears. Aging is very much based on a fear belief. Okay, it's not based on a belief of positivity, of accepting that you are not going to decline, and that if you choose to, you can stay active and vital and enjoy life like into your 90s. I have met people in their 90s, you would look at them and you wouldn't even know that they're in their 90s, and you think to yourself, wow. And then you start talking to them and you realize that they're full of life, that they are speaking to you as if they're, a 60-year-old woman and not a 95-year-old woman. So it very much has to do with your mindset. Thankfully, your mindset is something that you can change. Your brain, and therefore your mind, has a remarkable lifelong ability to change and adapt. This is called neuroplasticity, and scientists are learning now that the brain can adapt its structure and function in response to experience, learning, injury, or even disease. The process involves forming new neural connections, strengthening existing ones, and even regrowing neurons to adapt to new information, recover from damage, or change behaviors and thought patterns. And here are some practical tips for helping you change your mindset and therefore taking advantage of neuroplasticity. Things like engaging in new activities and learning new skills, practicing meditation and mindfulness, using positive affirmations about yourself, and of course, regular movement and exercise. Imagine if the media would report on things to enhance your youthing or your vitality, to maintain your vitality. I mean, we do. People talk about it in supplements and stuff, but it's always seen as, the health and wellness stuff on the fringe. But what if, like, medical science, like, actually just stopped with all the medication stuff and really tried to make things a little bit more esoteric and realized that we are more than just, flesh and bone, that there is a spiritual aspect to us that needs to be nurtured and addressed, and that it lives within each of us. And it's so important for your vitality, your spirit, like things to keep your spirit alive and to not make you feel like you're just walking down that path of old age and accepting it. And I see videos on YouTube about, decluttering your life and just getting rid of everything. You don't want to have all these things, when you die, that other family members have to get rid of. And so you should do that ahead of time. Get rid of all that stuff so it's easier for them. And I'm thinking to myself, like, so you're preparing now? They're preparing you in these videos for your demise? Let's prepare ahead of time. How about living? How about just living your life? Having an abundance mindset, not a lack mindset, not a diminishment mindset. The world is full of a lot of wonderful things. It's like you work all your life. You finally get to your midlife where, all the years of saving and working, and you're sending your children to college, and now you've got some money saved. You can do some things for yourself, fix up your house, whatever you want to do. And shortly thereafter, it's time to downsize and shrink and start, not wanting things and getting smaller. And I just feel like it's a progression that is cast upon us. I believe it's more in our society than in other cultures, but I think we need to become aware of it and not fall prey into that kind of dialogue, because it's only going to lead to negative thinking, lack, fear-based thinking. And if you have faith in your body, faith in your ability to heal, faith in the fact that, you're young and vital, and you just feel that way and you do that stuff instead of thinking, oh, well, I'm too old for that and I'm too old for it. Don't, just be careful what you say, because when you put those words out, they carry truth, they carry energy, and you're basically creating your life with them. I hope you can kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. I went through a really deep period of thinking and inward looking while I've been away from YouTube, studying energy, studying the creation, like reality, what it really is, reading books, listening to videos. YouTube is a wonderful source for this stuff, for educating the spiritual side of yourself. And it was so enlightening. And I can't even tell you how much it helped my life and gave me more energy and vitality and less fear. Everybody fears growing old and fears aging. It's like this developed mantra that people talk about, and they sell products based on it and everything. Whatever product you buy to put on your skin, if you're not dealing with the inside, it's just not going to help you, because there's just too much resistance going in the other direction. And that's why you don't get results. I did a really interesting video on why you can't lose the weight. And it sort of boils down to understanding what's going on besides you doing exercise and cutting your calories. There's something more that's holding you back. And you've really got to dig deep inside and really understand and really just learn to allow the well-being that is natural to flow to you and get rid of energy blockages that you have. Because think about it, if we're an energy being, and this is a lot of this you're going to learn in the Eastern medicine, if we're an energy being with a life force that flows and it has channels that it goes through, and with your negative thoughts, that's what blocks it. It's so simple. So fears and regrets and grudges, anger, really things at the bottom of the emotional scale. That's what impacts your life force, your energy body, your vitality. So practice releasing things, practice mindfulness, practice being easier on yourself, practice being tolerant of others. And then also, practice healthy living. That includes meditation, movement, exercise, drinking water, things that enhance your well-being, sleep, and get out into nature. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. It helps ground you. It helps surround you with, life force energy. It revitalizes you. You can ground yourself with your feet on the earth. It's so good for you as an energy being to ground yourself, bare feet on the sand or in the grass, and it helps you get in touch with yourself. It helps you focus on joy and abundance, because when you look around and you see the trees and you see the sky and you just see this beautiful world that we live in, it can change your mood on a dime. Fresh air is so good for you. It's helpful for your eyesight to get away from your computer or your books or whatever you're doing. Look in the distance and just look around and try to look at detail. And I studied for a lot of years the eyes, because I helped myself reverse my myopia, and a lot of that is due to muscle fatigue that you just don't let go of. And going outside helps you do that, because you can feel it as you start to look in the distance. Everything sort of relaxes. It's so good for you. So get outside, walk, spend time in nature. It's so therapeutic. Check out my video on forest bathing. That's a good one. If you've got any kind of chronic illness or trying to overcome an autoimmune situation or something, grounding and bathing in the forest or being amongst the trees, it's so therapeutic. I mean, all these things are really important because we've been taught to kind of grind through it, to ignore your emotional cues, to just get done what you have to get done, to push through things. And unfortunately, that's kind of toxic. That doesn't work. Sometimes you get results that way, grinding it out. I mean, you can, but at what expense? On the other side, you're kind of like spent after and burnt out. And then you get ill or whatever. And then you have to have a total reset. So maintenance of your body, your health, your looks involves paying attention to how you feel, taking care of yourself, and knowing that you're more than just what you see. You're an energy being. You can't see it. Some people can. I will say that. I can't say you can't see it as a total thing. Some people can see it. They see auras. They see, energy bodies. And I think we could all see it if we weren't sort of trained against seeing it. There's a lot to be said about how you grow up hearing and thinking that's not real, that's fake, that's nonsense, that's this, that's that. And so it's part of your belief system. And when you have belief systems are very strong. It's really hard to break belief systems. I'm hoping that your belief system isn't so strong that maybe some of the words I'm saying to you tonight are resonating with you a little bit, because I think it would really help you in all aspects of your life if you could let some of that in. Alrighty, well, I hope you found this video helpful. And before you go, remember to subscribe and also check out my other videos. I've got lots of different topics of interest, helpful stuff. And I hope you all have a great night. Love you all so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.